In this video I'll be investigating how rudder works in iNav, because sometimes I think it doesn't work well at all. It overreacts sometimes. I've got the rudder throws up a lot, so hopefully it'll show what's going on. But sometimes it cross controls in ACRO mode, as in it tries to resist the turn, and overreacts when you switch to return to home and position hold. So anyway, let's see how we go. Now, what's the rudder doing there? We're in ACRO mode. Is the rudder resisting? I'm not touching the rudder. Is the rudder drifting out to the left there while I'm turning right? We'll have a look on the footage a bit later. I've noticed on some builds, especially with rudder planes, well only with rudder planes, and the F722 board and the F411 board, when you hit return to home it overreacts. Maybe cross-controlling, I don't know. But anyway, let's try a return to launch. Climbing. There it is. So, yeah, see that radical turn? That's gone too far back the other way. Snaking left and right. That's in return to home. That's just wrong. Now it's settled down. Alright, let's try position hold then too. Loiter mode. That's turning quite radically. Yeah, there you go. It's doing the same thing. I think the rudder is overreacting. And what I'm going to do is turn the P and the I gains down to 0 on Yaw, and see if that kind of fixes it. Let's just do that again and go out and do a return to home, which is where it's most radical, and some planes it can flick into a spiral of death. Here we go. Yeah, look at that, way too overreacting. Luckily this plane, that did a whole 360 turn. Luckily this plane isn't going to tip stall easily, so you can get away with it. Alright, so let's bring it in and turn the P and I down to 0. I also have a lot of feed forward dialed in too, 120, which is probably way too much, but just to show what's happening. Let's go again. Just in ACRO mode now, and we'll circle around, see what the rudder's doing now, and I think we'll find that is not trying to counteract the turn, which is what we want. I'd rather kind of manually control rudder and not have rudder in the stabilisation equation. Going out the other way now, holding a right hand turn. Okay, we'll head out here. Get up high-ish, head away from us and hit return to home. Turn to launch. Yeah, it's still doing the same thing. What's going on there? Well, blow me down. Loiter mode. It's turning too hard, I think. What's the rudder doing? We'll have a look on the footage anyway. Interesting. Back in ACRO mode. That's manual rudder there now. not manual rudder, I mean I'm using rudder input myself. Return to launch. So what I'll do now is drop the feed forward down to a reasonable level. What's the rudder doing now?
Loiter mode.
So that was an excellent test. I learned a lot today. I learned that in Acro Mode, the rudder works in kind of the opposite direction that you want it to, I think. So if you put your P&I values down to 0, then you have more of a normal flying plane. You don't get that cross-controlling sort of effect, which I've noticed on a few planes. And the feed forward, you've got to be careful with the amount of rudder throws from your feed forward, because that is used aggressively in return to home and position hold. I highly recommend reducing your rudder feed forward so that you only get a tiny amount of throws. Don't yet know what the effect in angle and 3D cruise will be. I'll test that later on, but I'm happy to now put my P&I down to 0 for yaw and have hardly any throws or feed forward for the rudder. Thanks for watching.